Tired of waking up constantly at night to go to the bathroom? Today, an experienced urologist reveals how to drink water strategically to put an end to nocturia once and for all. Discover the scientifically proven secrets that will transform your nights and help you sleep deeply and uninterrupted. No more sleepless nights. The night should be a sanctuary of restoration and healing. For you, however, it has become a battlefield at 3 a.m. That all too familiar sensation isn't an alarm, it's a silent pressure, an internal demand that cannot be ignored. You try to turn away, bury yourself under the sheets, begging it to disappear, but it doesn't. It becomes more insistent, an unavoidable command. And then you surrender. Your feet touch the cold floor, and the feeling of defeat pierces every cell of your body. On the way, a quiet anger begins to grow. You watch your partner sleep peacefully, enjoying the rest you desperately crave. And the question tears through your mind. Why me? Why do I have to endure this alone? This isn't just a nuisance. Let's call it what it really is. A thief. It doesn't just steal your sleep, it steals your energy for the next day, leaving you with an exhausted body and a foggy mind. It steals your clarity, making it hard to focus, forgetful, always feeling one step behind in life. It steals your patience, turning you into an irritable person with those you love most. And most frightening of all, it steals your safety, turning every nighttime trip into a fall risk that could change your life forever. Do you know the worst part? We've been told to accept it, that it's just part of aging, a lifelong sentence with no appeal. And so, we suffer in silence, night after night, abandoning hope of ever sleeping through again. Today, that resignation ends. I am a doctor, and I am here to tell you an uncompromising truth. They were wrong. Waking up multiple times a night to go to the bathroom is not normal. It is not an inevitable price of aging. It is a signal, a cry for help from your body. And most importantly, it is a condition that can be managed and reversed. In my more than 22 years in internal medicine and geriatrics, I have seen thousands of lives chained by these nighttime trips. I have heard stories of exhaustion, fear, and despair, but I have also witnessed incredible transformations when people like you regain their sleep, energy, and vitality. Today, I won't give you general advice. I will provide a complete system, a proven strategy to reprogram your biological clock, a method so scientifically backed, so logical, you will wonder why no one explained it to you sooner. Stay with me, because the next 30 minutes won't just help you sleep better, they could give you back the life you thought you had lost forever. The war against this nighttime enemy ends tonight, and you will be the victor. Let's get to the point. This urgent need to get up one or more times at night to urinate has a medical name, nocturia. I want you to engrave this term in your mind, not as a simple word, but for what it truly is, a warning siren your body sounds in the dark. I completely understand this frustration. People come to my office and say, "Doctor, it's normal, it's age." Let me be clear, no matter how common it is not normal. Normalizing nocturia is like getting used to a small stone in your shoe. At first it's just annoying, but over time it can cause serious damage. The statistics are relentless. Over 70% of adults over 60 experience it. But numbers are cold. They don't tell the human stories I hear every day. Stories like that of Javier, a 72-year-old craftsman. His hands, which once shaped clay with masterful precision, now trembled from a lack of restful sleep. He had to abandon his wheel, but his greatest pain, as he confided to me, was that he began forgetting the glaze formulas his family had perfected over generations. The nighttime thief hadn't just stolen the steadiness of his hands, it stole his legacy. Or take the case of Isabel, a 67-year-old retired teacher, a lively woman whose greatest passion was hiking. A fall in the dim light during one of those rush trips to the bathroom resulted in a wrist fracture. The physical injury healed, but what truly broke was her confidence. Fear settled in her home, turning her own house into a nighttime minefield. Isabel stopped traveling, she stopped exploring. The nighttime thief had stolen her freedom, These are not anecdotes meant to scare you. They are the harsh reality of ignoring the warning siren. The problem goes far beyond simple fatigue. Let's speak plainly about the 4 deadly risks hidden behind these nighttime bathroom trips. First, the risk of falls, the silent predator. When you get up at night, you are not fully awake. You are in a state called sleep inertia. Your brain is somewhere between sleep and alertness. Your reflexes are slow, your balance unstable, and your judgment impaired. The dark hallway becomes an obstacle course, a poorly laid rug, a piece of furniture you don't remember, a pet sleeping on the floor. For an adult, a hip or wrist fracture is not just a broken bone. It can be the start of a chain of complications, loss of independence, and accelerated decline in quality of life. Second, brain erosion, the invisible wear and tear. Your brain does not rest while you sleep. On the contrary, it works tirelessly. During deep sleep phases, it activates a remarkable cleansing system known as the glymphatic system, which removes toxins accumulated during the day, including the dangerous beta-amyloid protein directly linked to Alzheimer's disease. Every sleep interruption, every trip to the bathroom, is like turning off the vacuum mid-cleaning. Night after night, these toxins are not properly removed. The short-term effect is brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and memory loss. Long-term, the science is clear. Chronic fragmented sleep significantly increases the risk of cognitive decline. It's not age that makes you feel confused, it's the lack of quality sleep. Third, the load on your heart, the invisible stress. Every time you wake suddenly, your body enters a state of alarm, unable to distinguish a full bladder from a real threat. It immediately releases a cocktail of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. Your blood pressure spikes, your heart rate accelerates. Now imagine this micro shock to the cardiovascular system happening 2, 3, 4 times every night. It's like putting your cardiovascular system through a nightly marathon of stress year after year. Numerous large scientific studies have shown a direct and concerning link between severe nocturia and increased risk of hypertension, atrial fibrillation, and other serious cardiac events. Fourth, the emotional ghost, the thief of joy. Quality sleep is the factory where key neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine are produced and regulated. They are the architects of your mood, motivation, and ability to feel pleasure. When this factory shuts down intermittently each night, production collapses. The result is a chemical deficit that manifests as irritability, anxiety, and, in many cases, a silent depression that drains the color from your life. You withdraw from hobbies, lose patience with loved ones, and feel trapped in a spiral of exhaustion and sadness. And why does this problem worsen over time? Science gives us several clear answers. First, the pituitary gland produces less antidiuretic hormone ADH at night. This hormone tells the kidneys to reduce urine output while you sleep. With less ADH, the urine factory does not receive the command and continues running at full speed. Second, there is fluid redistribution. If you notice your ankle swell slightly during the day, that fluid doesn't just disappear. Gravity holds it there. When you lie down, this fluid, stored in the legs and managed by a lymphatic system that also ages, returns to the bloodstream. It is filtered by the kidneys and ends up directly in the bladder, setting a wake-up alarm for a few hours later. And of course, there are key anatomical factors. In men, prostate enlargement, benign prostatic hyperplasia, can press on the urethra and bladder, preventing complete emptying and causing a constant sense of fullness. In women, weakening of the pelvic floor, often due to childbirth or hormonal changes during menopause, reduces the bladder's ability to hold urine effectively. Finally, we cannot forget the hidden pharmaceutical factor. Certain medications such as diuretics for hypertension, some antidepressants, or antihypertensives can increase urine production. Sometimes a simple adjustment in the timing of these medications, always under medical supervision, can make a huge difference. Now that you understand the real magnitude of the problem and the science behind it, we are ready for the next step. Let's tear down the myths that have kept you trapped in this exhausting cycle. Before I reveal the system that will transform your nights, we first need to demolish the walls of the prison in which many have unknowingly lived. These walls are built from false beliefs and well-intentioned but destructive advice that instead of helping, reinforce the chains of nocturia. It's time to turn on the light and see these myths for what they really are: lies that steal your sleep. Let's break the first two now. Myth number 1. To avoid urinating at night, I must drink as little water as possible during the day. This is, without a doubt, the most common mistake, and believe me, the most counterproductive. The logic seems flawless. If less fluid goes in, less urine comes out. But your body is a biological system infinitely more complex than a simple pipe. When you drastically restrict fluid intake during the day, you force your kidneys to operate at maximum efficiency to conserve every drop. The result? Your urine becomes extremely concentrated, full of salts, urea, and other waste in a tiny volume of water. Now imagine this super concentrated urine reaching your bladder. The bladder's inner lining, the urothelium, is a layer of highly sensitive cells. This acidic, waste-laden urine acts as an immediate irritant to that lining. Think of it like sandpaper rubbing a delicate surface. This constant irritation makes your bladder overactive, sending panic signals to your brain. I'm full. You must go now, even when it contains only a small amount of fluid. Additionally, a rebound effect occurs. After being dehydrated all day, it's natural to feel intense thirst in the afternoon or evening. When you finally drink to quench it, your body, which was in conservation mode, tries to process this accumulated fluid. The kidneys are activated at full speed precisely when they should be slowing down, and much of this processing inevitably happens while you sleep. Paradoxically, drinking too little during the day can program more nighttime trips to the bathroom. The key is not to drink less, but to drink smarter. It's not the quantity of water, it's when you drink it. Myth number 2. The problem is that I have a small bladder. I've always been like this. This is the myth of resignation. Many people accept their condition, believing they have an insurmountable anatomical limitation. Let me clarify. While individual differences exist, in the vast majority of adult nocturia cases, the problem is not the size of the tank, but the production rate of the factory. We must distinguish between anatomical bladder capacity and functional bladder capacity. The anatomical capacity is the maximum volume it can hold and is relatively constant. Functional capacity, however, is the volume at which your bladder feels full and sends you the signal to go, and this can change. Think of it this way. If for years you have gone to the bathroom at the slightest signal, you've trained your bladder to be impatient. You've conditioned it not to stretch and not to use its full potential. Over time, its functional capacity decreases, even if its actual size has not changed. But the real culprit, as we've seen, is usually not the bladder. It's the kidneys, which continue producing urine at a high rate at night due to decreased ADH hormone and all that fluid returning from your legs. You could have the largest bladder in the world. If the urine factory doesn't slow down at night, you will still wake up. Blaming a small bladder is a self-imposed sentence that prevents you from addressing the root cause. And here's the great news. If you've trained your bladder to be impatient, you can also retrain it to be more patient and efficient. We'll discuss that later. For now, abandon this idea. Your bladder is not the problem. It is the victim of poor fluid and hormonal management. We've now exposed the first two myths, those that made us fear water and unfairly blame our anatomy. It's time to confront two more saboteurs, equally insidious but just as destructive. Myth number 3. A glass of wine or a beer relaxes me and helps me sleep. It can't be that bad. This myth is particularly dangerous because it disguises itself as a solution. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant, so it's true that initially it may make you feel drowsy. It helps you disconnect from the day's worries and fall asleep faster. But this initial help is a trap, a very expensive piece that you pay for dearly in the second half of the night. First, let's talk about the most obvious effect. Alcohol is a powerful diuretic. It directly inhibits the release of antidiuretic hormone ADH from the pituitary gland. Remember, this hormone is the handbrake that tells your kidneys to stop producing so much urine at night. alcohol completely releases this break. When you drink alcohol before bed, you create the perfect storm. On one hand, you add fluids to your system, and on the other, you deactivate your body's mechanism for managing them during sleep. Alcohol disrupts sleep, suppresses REM sleep, and causes fragmented sleep. This leads to nighttime awakenings and bladder pressure. Nocturia is not inevitable, and resignation is not a solution. With the right habits, we can improve sleep and control the bladder. The solution is the circadian hydration system. Drink smartly, aligned with your body's natural rhythms. Step 1. Load and accumulate. Give your body most of its fluids early in the morning when the kidneys process water most efficiently. Start as soon as you wake up with 1 or 2 glasses of water to activate your system and prevent nocturia. Morning, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is your main hydration window. Always have a bottle of water nearby. The key here is to sip steadily, not wait until you're thirsty. Thirst is not an early signal. It's an alarm that your body is already in a dehydrated state. If you wait until you're thirsty, you're likely to drink large amounts all at once, which can overload your kidneys. With small, frequent sips, you allow much more efficient absorption at the cellular level. Lunch. Accompany your meal with another good glass of water. By following this front-loading strategy, you work in perfect harmony with your body. You give your kidneys the whole day to filter, process, and remove excess fluid while you remain upright and active. Gravity helps prevent fluid from pooling in your legs. By 4 p.m., your body will be perfectly hydrated and ready to transition toward nighttime rest. Step 2. Gradual and manage. The smooth landing phase. From 4 p.m. onward, we don't suddenly cut off water. That would be a mistake. We enter what I call the landing phase. Just as a plane doesn't stop abruptly in the air, your body needs a smooth transition to prepare for the night. Afternoon, 4 p.m. until dinner. During this period, your mindset shifts from active hydration to maintenance. You only drink if thirsty and in small amounts, perhaps half a glass over several hours. Big glasses of water are done for the day. Dinner. This is a critical time. Try to eat at least 3 hours before going to bed. During dinner, drink only as much as necessary to help swallow your food. Just a few sips, not a full glass. If you eat soup or a dish with high liquid content, remember that this counts toward your daily intake. This gradual reduction sends a clear message to your body. The workday is over. It's time to slow production. Prepare for rest. You move from a system running at full speed to one preparing for hibernation. These first 2 steps alone can make a remarkable difference. But it's the combination with the next steps that creates a truly foolproof system. We've laid the foundation with the first 2 steps. We advanced hydration in the morning and regulated the afternoon transition. Now we'll build the main structure that will protect your sleep. These are the steps that require more discipline, but offer the most dramatic results. Step 3. You unite with the night, the sacred 3-hour window. This is the strictest and perhaps the most transformative step of the entire system. We will create what I call the sacred window, a 3-hour period before bedtime, during which ideally you will not drink any fluids. If you go to bed at 11 p.m., your last sip should be at 8 p.m. No exceptions? No. Just a little water? No. A cup of tea to relax? Why is this time window so critical? Because it is exactly the time your kidneys need to perform the final major filtration of the day and send those last remaining urine volumes to the bladder before you enter the sleep phase. If you drink within these 3 hours, I guarantee your kidneys will be working at full speed the moment your head hits the pillow. You will literally schedule a bathroom trip for 1 or 2 a.m. I understand you may feel dry mouth or a psychological need to drink something. If this happens, you have 2 options. Rinse your mouth with water and spit it out without swallowing, or take an ultra-small sip, just enough to moisten your lips and tongue, but not a full swallow. This 3-hour rule is not a suggestion, it is the anchor of the entire system. Treat it as sacred. Step 4. Activate absorption. In your first glass of the day, add a pinch of Himalayan or sea salt and a few drops of lemon. Electrolytes help water reach your cells, enhancing hydration and overall fluid balance. Step 5. Smart dinner. Avoid spicy or acidic foods. chocolate, sugar, and caffeine. Choose lean protein and cooked vegetables for stable blood sugar and gentle digestion. Advanced Technique 1. Double emptying. Sit on the toilet, urinate, wait 30 to 60 seconds, lean forward, and urinate again for complete bladder emptying before sleep. Advanced Technique 2. Bladder retraining. Train your bladder to wait. Gradually increase the time between bathroom visits, e.g., from 90 to 105 minutes, using relaxation techniques or Kegel exercises until you reach 3 to 4 hours of comfort. Gravity reversal. 1 to 2 hours before bed. Lie down and elevate your legs above your heart for 20 to 30 minutes. This allows fluid to drain before sleep, reducing nighttime awakenings. Advanced Technique 4. Mind Bladder Relaxation Protocol. We often underestimate the strong connection between our mental state and bladder behavior. Stress and anxiety activate the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. This can create urgency and tension in the pelvic floor muscles, making your bladder feel nervous. We need a way to intentionally activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest function. This will not only help you fall asleep faster, but also send a calming signal to your bladder. Create a 5 to 10 minute relaxation protocol as the final step before bed, even after double emptying. Option 1. Box breathing. The technique is simple and highly effective. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. Pause and repeat. This simple technique calms the body and mind. Option 2. Body scan. Lie down, close your eyes, and gradually bring your attention from your toes to your head, relaxing each area. With daily practice, you improve your sleep and train your nervous system to associate night with calm, not stress. Combined with the circadian hydration system and the 4 advanced techniques, double emptying, bladder retraining, gravity reversal, relaxation protocol, you become the architect of your rest. The story of Javier proves that change is possible. With persistence and consistency, you too can regain deep, uninterrupted sleep. Battle plan. Drink most of your fluids before 4 p.m. Respect the 3-hour no-fluid window before bed. Practice double emptying, elevate your legs, and calm your mind. Retrain your bladder patiently. You have the knowledge and tools. Changing your nights is in your hands. If this information has helped you, press like, subscribe to the channel, and comment, "I claim my rest starting tonight." It's the first step in your new life.